This is a 5200 exclusive.
Alright, so this is the second video. Alright guys, I've been getting some feedback, gotta have better lighting, more audio, so let's try this out now. Now, this is the second question, but I like this topic. It's about the current generation, and it's why do people hate our generation? What I'm gonna dive into is why we hate it, like us being part of it, but why no other generation can hate us. Now, let me get this straight off the table. The generation of now was raised based off the generation before us. Okay, that means our parents. That's our parents' generation. You always take the generation before you and they teach you. They teach the next generation. They tell them what to go by. They're the ones that set up everything for the new generation. And our last generation failed. Now, I'm not saying they failed as parents or aunties and uncles. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they failed as in we no longer work as hard as our parents had to do till we grow up. Let me paint you a picture, okay? A lot of people think the previous generation before us was that of the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, etc. But it's not really that. That's our grandparents. That was our grandparents. Our parents, however, was part of the 70s, the 80s. That's our parents. That's where they grew up. That's where they became who they become. And the thing about it is, they had those strong, righteous leaders to lead them. We didn't. And you're wondering, especially if you're not of this generation, why put the blame on you? Well, let me tell you this. A child does not come in this world knowing something other than breathing. Alright? Eventually, it knows how to eat solid food. Eventually, it knows how to read. But that's if you introduce it to that. Picture this. You're 5 years old. The stove is hot. Okay? The stove is hot. The previous generation had parents to say, don't touch that stove, it's hot. Now, of course, our parents said, okay, we're not going to touch the stove, we're going to obey our parents. What our parents did was watch us touch the stove. Not warn us, but just to watch us. Ends up getting burned. We end up getting burned. And they look at us like, oh, I bet you're not going to touch that again. Because they'd rather have us learn by experience than hearsay. It's pretty sad. But you understand why some people do learn by experience only. But let me tell you why we hate our own generation. We have the most spoiled, softest, I feel, generation. We don't have to work as hard for certain things. Okay, that's already been accomplished by our grandparents and our parents. But us, we're told we can be anything. We are told that anything is possible. We live in a world where, I can't say world, we live in certain areas in which we get certain opportunities more than our parents and our grandparents did. However, it's not all simple like that. Okay? Finances aren't as easy anymore. Before, you could drop out of high school, get yourself a GED, or 2 jobs. You can end up owning a house. Nowadays, you would be lucky to rent an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. Okay? College back then, you had a summer job or a part-time job, man, you got paid for it. Now, introduced to the bank system, in which case you're only 18 and you just got out of a high school. So some high schools you still had to go to use the bathroom and ask, you know, and now you're in debt. Everybody your whole life was telling you should go to college, but nobody told you what would happen once you decide to. All they'll say is you'll have fun and you'll be educated. People did learn that college was expensive, but some of these people end up owing the money for the rest of their lives. Now, how unfair is that? You're 18-year-old, you just got out of high school, the world is your oyster. Here's the banks, or the colleges saying, hey, I cost $40,000, how can you afford me? Now, as a kid, because when you're 18, you just entered adulthood, so you're still technically a kid. You go off and you just see, oh, I can borrow money from the bank. Okay? This is where I feel we should be teaching kids about taxes and etc. Especially the banking system. A kid will sign a document not knowing the whole interest rates and how much it will accumulate over time. Say you take out a loan for about $5,000, but you're 18, so you're like, I could pay off $5,000 with a job. Not knowing the interest rate's probably like 15% by the time you're done each year. And each time you pay it, you may not know it, but as you're paying it, the interest rates are still causing it to rise. So you're not moving anywhere. As soon as you move forward, the interest rate just keeps pushing the price up. We turned 18 from that. Okay. Now here's the other thing. Okay, people like to blame music for a lot of our things. I grew up with like Lil Wayne and shit. I'll tell you, I grew up with Lil Wayne, Eminem. We even had like the simple B2K and the Backstreet Boys and all that. If you were into them, and the only influence they mostly had on me was clothes. For other people, they were just going around saying, okay, it's cool to sell drugs and everything, because they do it. But here's the thing. This is why our generations are gullible. Okay? We look at an artist on TV. We think, wow, they got so much and they're smoking weed, they're sniffing coke and everything, but they made it. So they must be doing something right. You got female artists that say, don't let no guy be part of your life and stuff like that. All guys are trash. But those same female artists go home to their husbands, to their boyfriends. And then all they do is say, wow, can't believe all of them are listening to me. Can you believe that? And the husband laughing like, you're stupid. We're gullible because we believe in the first thing we see and think that's for us. It's not for us. Okay? I hate to say this, but for example, Beyonce made a song called Single Ladies, right? I kid you not. When Single Ladies came out, I seen a lot of females feel like they need to be single. They need to be. But they don't realize, at the end of the day, she went home to Jay-Z. Okay? It's a song to promote sales. And what better promotion of sales than women who dislike men? Now, I'm not saying dislike as in I can never be with one. I'm saying dislike as in I can't stand them. Or I currently can't stand them. Now, along with that, we have too many excuses. Too many. We blame some of our problems based off our parents. Okay? You're angry. Oh, my parents were angry. You're a drinker. My dad was alcoholic. I normally get what I want. Just because your parents spoiled you. But here's the thing about it. Those are all excuses. Let me give you a scenario. Say you have twins, okay? Male, female, male, male, female, female, it doesn't matter. Those twins watch a mom who's an alcoholic and a dad who was a constant smoker. Now one twin one twin can grow up and say, I smoke because my dad smoked. I drink because my mom drank. But then the other twin can say, I don't drink because I saw what happened with my mom. I don't smoke because I saw what happened with my dad. They had the same scenarios. They experienced the same things. But they both chose different ways to go about it. I'm just saying, we got too many excuses for our own actions. We never like to blame ourselves. Never. You know, you failed a test, it's because the teacher can't teach. You broke up with somebody because they're the ones that were wrong. You can't win in a video game, somehow the video game's cheating. Nobody wants to say, oh, I lost because I lost. Nobody wants to say, I do this because I do this. You know, everybody just wants to put the blame on somebody else. That's why I feel like everybody does hate our generation. But like I said, they got no right to. We were newborns. We had to be taught something. Okay. We take what our parents teach us and adapt to it. Okay. Your parents can teach you up to a certain age. Then the world teaches you after that. Experience teaches you after that. It's not much you can do. Your parents teaching you that everything's gonna be okay. They shelter you all the time, hide you from the world. But then once you get released in that world, you're thinking, oh, this is nothing like my own parents said. I get it. We're their children. We're supposed to be protected. But sheltering somebody from the world does more harm than good. Because the world is reality. Okay? Your parents are a confined space. Nobody ever wants to just get outside their comfort zone. Okay? What I'm trying to just say is that nobody besides us is allowed or has the right to hate us, okay? We are the product of the generations before us. It's not our fault who gave us our foundation or not. Now, we do have the power to decide what we want to do with ourselves. However, when building a building, most likely the base or the foundation of that building is what makes it its own shape. You don't build a square and expect a triangle. Don't build a circle and expect a square. So all I'm saying is, we do have our mistakes, but you guys created us. You guys showed us how things are done, or how it should be done in your eyes. Now, because we chose what to do with that information, can't blame us. Can't be a parent who smokes a lot and get mad at your kid for smoking. You're the one that showed them how. You're the one that showed them you can depend on it. Okay? I'm just saying, no other generation besides our own really has the right to say anything about us. And to be honest, they do. They're really big hypocrites. Because I swear, I think the generation before us was probably much worse. They're the ones that had the true leaders back then. True leaders following them. But look how we ended up. Grandparents, get your parents. Parents, get us. We get our children.